What is this rolling tool? It has a wooden handle with a spool of metal discs. Each disc has the same pattern of notches, and they are not connected to each other. It is 7 inches long and the spool is 5 inches wide. Does anyone know what this would be used for? It's a check graining roller. It was used to create realistic pores in the grain, which was very popular in 19th and early 20th century homes, on door panels and such. You've probably seen these in some of the home improvement stores referred to as a denim tool. It was taken over the years and used for other things like denim finishes, but it was a check roller. That's what it was originally designed to be. It was used with dark paint. It makes the tiny checks in wood like oak and mahogany. What are these small handheld tools found in a metal box in the basement of a very old house in the Rochester area? Number 1 is rusty and seized and doesn't do anything. Number 2, if pressed on the bottom of the handle, the 2 horizontal pieces at the top separate. 3, can open wider and seem to measure width, but of what? And what's that movable blade thing at the center? 4, when arches are squeezed on each side, the bottom pinches and pulls up. All these tools seem to be a set and all related. I estimate the tools to be at least 70 years old, from the 1950s or earlier. Any ideas are appreciated. It's an antique watchmaker's kit. 1 is a watch hand remover tool. It removes watch hands by gently squeezing the lever. 2 is an impulse jewel tool. It clamps onto the roller table and then is heated with an alcohol lamp to soften the shellac that glues the jewel. 3 is a truing caliper. You put a wheel in between the 2 arms and align the pointer on an outer edge as a reference. Then you spin the wheel and see if it wobbles or is bent. 4 is a Presto hand remover tool. It tightens underneath a hand, then pushes away from the watch. They may be missing other bits or attachments to function properly. What is this contraption I found in an old house? It's old, it has a hand crank, and has a faded writings that I guess says premium. Someone suggested it's a homemade popcorn maker, but the metals are way too thin to hold pressure. Any idea what this could be? It's a Unico crop duster, manufactured by the United Cooperatives Incorporated, maybe from the 1940s to the 70s, but it's a real guess on my part. The hopper would be filled with a powder, most often an insecticide. Turning the crank would blow it out the pipe through 1 or more fan-shaped nozzles to distribute it. You would wear it with a shoulder strap or harness to take the weight, so the little handle is just for controlling the direction. There's patents for hand crank horticultural dusters going back to the late 19th century. By the 1970s to the 80s, 2-stroke engine-powered equipment was cheap enough to take over from hand power. Also, more of the insecticide powders were falling out of favor, or banned, as their environmental and health impacts became known. What is this mysterious bag I found during a trip to Sweden? It's super old and real leather. It opens in 3 to 4 parts. It has clear plastic windows and pen compartment. I am not even sure of the brand. The dents and scratches feel very real, and the wear and tear on the strap, but it is very baffling how clear the plastic is. The metal buttons are pretty worn too. 2 of them don't close, and there was ever a mysterious little key in a pocket. I lost my mind from curiosity at that. Any ideas? It's an officer double map case from 1915. Here's your bag from a Swedish army museum. To protect the celluloid of the double case, there is a cloth in grey cotton twill. This also has the task of preventing glare from the map and celluloid. Inside, the bag has a leather pocket and sleeves for pencils. Maybe the plastic was replaced at some point, or it was kept somewhere that wouldn't cause it to decay. My grandfather gave me this 20 years ago, and still, I don't know what it is. It's on my attic since ages. Is it something I could sell? Thank you so very much in advance for any and all help with this thing. I am a student of archaeology and anthropology, and was lucky enough to find out more about this. The object is a Quranic writing board from the 19th century, meant to be used to memorize or otherwise keep with oneself a given verse of the Quran. Across the Sahel region in Africa, Quranic instruction begins as early as the age of 5. Instructors would inscribe verses on wooden tablets using a reed pen and homemade ink that could be washed off and replaced with another passage. The Quran's holy words are handled with care, and even the runoff water used to clean the writing board is treated with respect. Believers may drink the water or use it for spiritual or medicinal purposes. What is this thing found in a shipwreck? A small yellowish amber vial with clear liquid inside, in a leather-corded pouch. The vial is about 1 inch long. It appears to be very old. It's very brittle and is etched in a language that I can't read. It was recovered from a shipwreck many years ago and was given to me as part of an art exhibit. We are afraid the liquid could be dangerous and have not opened it to smell it. Does anyone know what this is? It's a Soviet Jasmine perfume. Here's the exact piece I found without the leather casing for 55 Ukrainian hryvnia. Those little oval-shaped capsules towards the side of the object are roach egg sacs, perhaps from storage after the discovery from the wreck. What is this 4.5 by 6 inches bottomless glass bowl with a 5-inch long tube containing a spring attached to a fibrous pad inside the bowl? This came from the estate of an antique dealer and was not with anything similar, so there really isn't any context for it. I assume it's a scientific piece, but I would like a more specific idea of its name and usage. Any ideas? This is the upper half of a vacuum coffee maker from the 1930s. The coffee grounds would go in the bowl, it would be upside down, with a plastic top. The stem goes into a bowl of water that sits on the stove. When the water boils, it pushes up the spring and fills the upper chamber. When the lower vessel cools, it creates a vacuum that pulls the coffee water through the cotton filter and down into the lower bowl to be served. Grounds remain above. The spring is just there to hold the coffee filter in place. It serves no other function. I have had several different kinds of these. What is this jar with a strange lid that has writings that reads Eleniler, Dayton, Ohio, with a metal tube connected to the underside of the lid? Someone suggested a jar battery, but jar batteries typically have a wider opening, and there is no place for the cell. Any ideas? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.